Hello, everybody. It's Flesson19, and today I want to bring you a post from Callum on the future plans for Bannerlord. And trust me when I tell you, there is a ton of information. And I do want to give a shout out to Callum. Before the holidays, he did specifically state that he was going to do this. He apologized for not doing it sooner. He took a lot of flack for it, which I defended him on, and he did do it. And I'm not going to cover the we'll say, gameplay news. I'm going to quickly run through that, but I'm going to cover just the game news, and there is a lot. So they introduce about how much stuff that they have actually put into the game since 1.6. They are continuing to work on sieges. They know it's a problem and they're continuing to work on them. It has been an issue. It did look to be a little bit better, but they are still having some pathing issues, which I have shown in my live stream. Then they talk about crafting orders as well. That was an update to the game, which was covered in a development update video. And it is a pretty good way of making money right now. You can make a lot through some of these orders when you can get 100 and upwards of 215,000 for just one order. Then they talk about some non-news, non-game type play news. Going to Gamescom, they're not going to because of the pandemic. Some of the developers are going to start returning to the studios, having received the second vaccine. And now, let us get into it. First, they want to go with single player. All right, the battle terrain system. Now, a lot of this I am going to read because it is actually very important. It was initially announced in Development Update 7, and it was great to see the positive feedback that it received. The feature will provide a more strategic and unique experience for each and every battle by associating specific scenes with campaign map regions rather than terrain type, while also taking into account party positioning and orientation within the region to influence the initial battle setup. So when you're on the map, if you're sitting here, that's where you are going to be in the map. If you get attacked and you're coming from this way, you'll actually on the map be coming from this way in the map. So one map you might be standing here, in the next map you might be standing over there. So it's going to take into account every factor. So when you actually want to attack people, you need to think about where you are on the map and how it might interact with how you're going to do it when you go to a fight. Granting peerage to companions. While adventuring through Calradia, it is almost guaranteed that you will pick up a companion or two to accompany you on your journey. These characters can fight alongside you in battle or assist with crafting, questing, or governing your feat. They may also be assigned to lead caravans or clan parties to earn you additional coin or influence. As your campaign progresses and the bonds between you and your followers develop, we feel that it is only appropriate that you should be able to reward them for their loyalty and service by elevating them to the ranks of nobility if you choose, of course. Now, I am still not 100% positive on what it was going to be. I know there was a post on this, but I thought what it was going to mean is you could actually make it to where they would start their own clan. I don't think you would make it to where they would be a part of your clan. But see, I don't know which one it was. But I thought by elevating them to nobility. So I'm not sure which route they're going to take. But either they could become part of your clan to make your clan bigger, or I think they would be able to start their own clan. So that's what they're looking at doing as well. One of the big ones is Order of Battle. This one I got asked by Flavius to find out information about, and they said that they were going to release it. While Mountain Blade series has always emphasized fighting alongside and commanding your troops within the thick of battle, nothing speaks against establishing some order before the clash with your enemies. This feature allows you to assign troops and heroes to formations as well, giving them orders and positioning them during the deployment phase for both battle and sieges. So this is what you can see. This is what it would somewhat look like. So these would be your formations. This is where you could actually assign them from. And then here are your sliders as to how many you want to bring into battle. Is what I believe it is. Because you can go over that 1,000 mark, or it's 1,000 each. So you're going to be able to decide that here. And then here you could see are the companions that will go ahead and be captain. So this is what they're planning on it looking like. So it's just like in starting a siege, you can go ahead and set everybody up where you want it, have all your setup done before the battle actually begins. Banner bearers. Alongside order of battle, we are now working on banner bearer features, which allow heroes to bring their banners to battle and have them carried by soldiers within their formation. There is it's not banner paste. I remember there is one that a modder had made, so they're going to implement that into the game. Party templates. Another means to increase the variety of encounters and make AI party leaders feel more distinct are party templates. Currently, party leaders pursue largely the same effective template throughout their recruitment and upgrading of troops. We will explore and implement a greater number of templates that may be assigned to party leaders based on their culture and character traits. I think what it's going to do is change the way that they interact with people. Because obviously, character traits is a pretty big thing right now where everybody has character traits, but it seems like that is only really effective when you're dealing with them in charm check. Cutscenes. I did hear about this. The sandbox simulation includes many significant life events, ranging from the death of a comrade to witnessing the birth of a child. Whether there are ill or good tidings, there are currently communicated quite abstractly, and such we intend to give more life and improve overall immersion by introducing several of cutscenes modifications. Yeah, um, that would be really nice to see. It's not a huge feature, but I think it does bring a little bit more immersion into the game. My thing is I'm still looking for random events. To me, that would be the number one feature I'd like to see because there are so many games out there, like Crusader Kings and I believe Total War, um, Stellaris. I'm not sure if Total War does it, but to be able to have random events, I think would be absolutely amazing. Something like this pops up where all of a sudden, somebody dies for some reason, I think would be absolutely amazing. Sally Out Mission. Sieges and Bannerlord are quite dynamic events that can play out in a number of different ways, with one outcome being defenders sallying out to break the siege. Currently, the game will initiate a standard field battle for these encounters, which could be a little immersion breaking and isn't truly befitting of the event. In the future, we want to sally out action to have its own dedicated mission that plays out on a relevant siege scene, making these units a bit more special. And that's how it was in Warband. When they would do that, they would actually come out of the town or castle. It was like when you say enter town and you're standing outside the gate. That's how the battle was. Scenes. As always, in a recent note, which can attest to, work continues on adding a variety of new scenes to the game in addition to towns. Our current focus is on creating scenes for the battle terrain system. Naturally, should also expect to see improvements and updates to existing scenes, as well as the additions of some new and more specific scenes. I do have to say the scenes in Bannerlord are absolutely amazing. When you look at the actual characters themselves, they don't look that great. They really don't. But when you look at some of the visuals of the game, that I think they've done an absolutely amazing job with. Then they do get into some multiplayer stuff, which I don't normally cover multiplayer because I am not a multiplayer person or I am not a modded player. But of course, not all the game's features and systems are restricted to just single player multiplayer, and there are some specific updates that will affect our entire game. Ambient sound, language support, which I know, uh, yeah, Russian. I know at one point I don't think they included Russian. And then, of course, modding support. Modding support continues to be a key priority for us, as it should be, with many recent changes in direct response to the feedback from our modding community. We intend to continue fully supporting modding throughout improvements and the additions to our existing modding tools, alongside new and more detailed documentation and guides over the Bannerlord modding document website. We also confirm the Steam Workshop is planned as a future update, meaning you will be able to access and share mods with ease. Whew, that was quite a lot to get through, and that it was. But it still leaves a couple of big questions unanswered. Mainly, when will the game be fully released and on what platform? Well, we want to be upfront at this point by saying the early access will continue into next year, which we figured it would be. It wouldn't be done this year. It would be more likely at least the first quarter of next year. With our current estimation for being released now quarter two of 2022, which we had thoughts of that. I specifically stated when they said they were hoping at the end of the year of 2021 or maybe the first quarter of 2022. No, it's not going to be done. This is going to be a long, long development. And you could see by what they put up in here, they have a lot more that they want to do. We are fairly confident that we will hit that target. However, if we feel the game still isn't ready at that point, then we will delay the release. As for platforms, we confirm that the game will be coming to consoles. However, we are unable to share any further details on that just yet. And finally, we want to take a moment to thank you for your continued support, whether it's through backing the game in early access, sending crash dumps and creating bug reports, sharing feedback on the forums, or just taking time to read the post. We truly appreciate it. Thank you. This and like I said when I started this, I want to give Callum a big shout out. He did not need to do this. This was a big post. And as I said, he took heat. And thank you, Callum, for taking he took my tag. He took my tag from me. Callum, dude. So it's pretty amazing to see what they have coming up, their plans, and what they're looking at through their timeline. And I think you can see that they are still truly invested in getting Bannerlord right, and they are continuing to work on it. And I think when it does get released, it is still going to be a very good game, as Warband was. The modders are going to make it exceptional, but you could see they're not done with this yet. Bannerlord, now you're talking second quarter. We're looking at least another possibly 6 to 9 months before it's done. So if you want to find this, you can find this in the developers area. It is the second or third forum at the very top of the Taleworld forums, and which you can read this. So I just wanted to bring this to you to let you guys know. I know we're waiting on 1.6.2 to hit anytime now, but I figured this was a pretty big news from Callum, and I wanted to give him that shout out that he deserves. I will see you guys next time. Take care, and thanks for watching.